Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This in the year 2025.
What could possibly go wrong?
I'm Juliet, the daughter,
And I'm Kevin, the sleepy dad.
and this week, as is our unofficial New Year's tradition, we are starting the year by covering a lady pop artist, and this time I picked Kylie Minogue. So, Dad, what do we need to know about Kylie?
Well, first off, it's Saturday? It's January 11th. Do we
Yep.
still say Happy New Year? Like, when's the cutoff?
I mean, I think we could say Happy New Year because we haven't spoken to our listeners since
I
the New Year.
suppose.
So I
But,
think it works.
come February, no, New Year's over.
No, exactly.
Anyway, Kylie Ann Minogue was born May 28th, 1968 in Caulfield, South Melbourne, Australia. She's the oldest of three children, the others being a brother Brendan, who is a news cameraman in Australia, and a sister Danny, who is a singer slash actress slash TV host. When Kylie when Kylie was 10, she accompanied Danny to an audition. The producers thought Danny was too young, but they offered Kylie a minor role in a soap opera called The Sullivans. She also had a small role in another soap, Skyways. In 1985, she had a lead role in a series called The Henderson Kids, but her character was written off in the second season.
Oops.
She was interested in the music career and made a demo tape for producers of the program Young Talent Time, which featured sister Danny as a regular performer. Kylie performed on the show in 1985 but was not invited to join the cast.
Oh.
In 1986, Kylie was cast in the long-running soap Neighbors as garage mechanic Charlene Mitchell. She won 4 Logie Awards, which honor the best shows and stars in Australian TV, which I guess is kind of like their
Emmys.
version of the Emmys.
Yeah.
She won 4 of them in 1 year, the first person ever to do so, and became the youngest recipient of, and I quote, the Gold Logie Award for the most popular personality on Australian television, unquote. And all I can think of is Logan when I say Logie, because I think that's what Deanna calls him sometimes
All I could
as a
think
nickname.
all I could think is Loogie, like Mount Wanaka
Loogie,
Loogie in
yeah.
Finding Nemo.
Now, when her character Charlene married Jason Donovan's character Scott Robinson, 20 million viewers tuned in.
Wow.
And Kylie played Charlene from 1986 to 1988, and then again in 2022.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she came back. Kylie performed at the Fitzroy Football Club benefit concert and sang I Got You, Babe with fellow actor John Waters. She also sang...
Not that John Waters?
No.
Okay.
This is Australia.
Just making sure.
She also sang The Locomotion. Producer Greg Pethrick arranged for Kylie to record a demo of Locomotion and sent it to Michael Gudinski, head of Mushroom Records. He signed Kylie in 1987 based on her popularity in Neighbors. Locomotion was released 1 week after the wedding episode of Neighbors was aired, so it went on to become the biggest selling single of the decade in Australia. That led Kylie to London to work with Stock, Aitken, and Waterman. And if you'd like more info about that trio, listen to our Bananarama podcast. They wrote and recorded I Should Be So Lucky in under 40 minutes.
Wow.
It went to #1 in Australia, Finland, Germany, Hong Kong, Israel, Switzerland, and the UK. In the US, number 28. Her follow-up, The Locomotion, went to #3 in the US. Kylie, the album, came out in July 1988 and went to #1 in the UK, spent a year on the charts, and became the best-selling album of the 1980s by a female artist in the UK. Kylie, the album, once again, was released in the US on the Geffen label. It peaked at number 53 on the Billboard 200 albums chart.
Okay.
And then
Trablish?
but it just in the US.
Oh, okay.
Just in the US. Kylie's second album, Enjoy Yourself, which went to #1 in the United Kingdom, stiffed in the United States.
What's that mean?
Stiffed?
Yeah.
It didn't do well. It just,
Oh, okay.
It did not make any of the charts at all. So Geffen dropped Kylie.
Shit.
She wouldn't be a presence on the US charts again until her album Fever came out in 2001. And that album went to #3 on the Billboard 200 albums charts, and the single Can't Get You Out of My Head went to #7 on the Billboard singles charts. Meanwhile, back in the rest of the world, Kylie was unhappy with the lack of input she had with Stock Aitken Waterman on her first two albums. She and her manager pushed for a more mature sound. Her third album, Rhythm of Love, is looked on as the turning point where Kylie began to become a pop icon.
Kylie gets serious.
Well, some think that her relationship with INXS frontman Michael Hutchence, whom she was dating at the time, may have had an influence on Kylie 2.0.
Okay.
Let's Get to It came up next, followed by a greatest hits comp. In 1993, Kylie signed with Destruction Records and put out two more albums, Kylie Minogue and Impossible Princess,
Yeah.
the latter in which she experimented with trip hop, electronica, and rock. Now, in 2000, Kylie signed with Parlophone, who wanted to reestablish her as a pop artist. Her first release, Light Years, became her first number one album in Australia. In 1999, she put out an art book, Kylie, which has gone on to be a rare sought after collector's item.
Mm.
Then came Fever and Global Domination. In 2003, she was nominated for a Grammy for Best Dance Recording for the song Love at First Sight, not to be confused with Love at First Sight from her debut album, which we'll get into more later.
Mm-hmm.
Kylie would win that Grammy the following year for Come Into My World, which is also one of the greatest music videos ever made, according to me.
I saw it, directed by the guy who did Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah, Michael Gondry.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm so glad that I was watching the video. She's coming out of the dry cleaners and she drops a package, but then the next time around the block, she picks the package up. That made me anxious. I'm glad they addressed that. She's just walking out. I'm like, that's a big package. How could she not feel that drop? And then, oh, thank God she picked it up again.
And if you've never seen the video, check it out. And
trippy as shit and great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Kylie's cranking out more albums and touring until May 2005 when she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, shit.
She underwent surgery and chemo, and during convalescence, she wrote a children's book, The Showgirl Princess, and her perfume Darling was released in November 2006. She also was able to go back out on the road that same month. So it was a cycle of more albums, more tours, and, believe it or not, a home furnishings line called Kylie Minogue at Home.
Any good?
I haven't bought any of the furniture. I don't know.
Oh.
This is not to be confused with Martha Stewart at home.
Yeah.
Or whoever else may be at home.
Yeah.
Anyway, she had a 25th anniversary tour in 2012. In 2015, she got into a trademark dispute with Kylie Jenner.
Oh, okay.
Which I vaguely remember. According to Wikipedia, quote, in Jenner's attempt to trademark the brand Kylie, which Minogue had been trading under since the 1990s, unquote. And our Kylie, who we know and love, she won in 2017.
Yes, eat shit, Kylie Jenner. I don't care if I say it out. Yeah.
As of October 2024, Kylie released her 17th studio album, Tension 2, which was a sequel to 2023's
Tension.
Very good.
Yay.
And in 2025, Kylie embarks on the Tension Tour, which has 12 dates in the United States, including a stop at Boston's TD Garden.
Which you will not be seeing.
No, on April 9th with Rita Ora opening.
Okay.
Yep.
As for you?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay. Kylie has 2 Grammys, 4 Brit Awards, 18 ARIA Awards, which is the Australian Recording Industries Association.
So like their Grammys.
I guess, yeah. She's an Officer of the Order of the British Empire and an Officer of the Order of Australia. She's also in the ARIA Hall of Fame. She has a Guinness World Record citation for most consecutive decades with top 5 albums in the UK. And she is the only female artist to reach the top 10 of the UK singles chart in the 1980s to the 2020s. So basically, she's unstoppable.
Yeah.
She's been eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame since 2012, which
I don't think she should get in.
I can't see that happening, though.
I love you, Kylie, but you're not rock and roll.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of other people in the Hall of Fame who aren't rock and roll, but I think it's a matter of it's like everyone knows her, but she's still a lot bigger outside the United States.
Yeah. She's still successful, though. Again, you don't have to be successful in the U.S. to be a successful musician in other parts of the world.
I think it's like, the United States is Taylor Swift's territory, and Taylor isn't giving it up to anyone else. Nope. But anyway, Kylie's got tons of hardware from everyone else in the world, so I don't think it would be a big deal for her.
And plus, with Spotify and with international law, you can listen to music from artists all over the world now.
There you go. As for her debut, Kylie, Stock, Aitken, and Waterman produced the album, wrote 9 out of the 10 songs, because obviously Carole King and Jerry Goffin wrote The Locomotion.
Yeah.
Reviews were mixed, but it seems to have aged well over the decades.
Mm-hmm.
It hit the charts again in the UK when its 35th anniversary reissue was released in 2022.
Hmm.
And the first 6 songs were released as singles
That makes sense.
in like almost all other parts of the world except for
The US.
here.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and as for that cover, she's
Her hair looks like a bird's nest.
well, the thing is, all these years I thought that was Kylie's hair coming out of that hat that she's wearing.
Yeah, but it's a wig or something?
It's not. It's a hair hat that was made by London designer Bernstock Spears, who was kind of embarrassed by it.
Yeah, I could see why.
It wasn't one of his favorites, but apparently it's what he's going to be known for.
It's going to be the thumbnail for the video listeners. Let us know what you think of that hat. I don't think it's good.
See, I always thought it was like a ring, and they just
That's what I thought too.
pushed her hair through it.
A ring around the hat, cut it out, and I thought, well, maybe that would be like a wig or some extensions poking through too, to make it, that voluminous.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Now, as for the picture of Kylie on the cover, I showed it to your mom and asked her, "Who does this remind you of? Who does she look like?"
Allie?
Yes.
That's what I thought too.
Exactly.
Yep.
There is a resemblance there.
Allie's my cousin for context.
Yep. The one thing that mars the CD cover is someone got the bright idea to slap the words "a digital recording" under Kylie's name, and it's just
there.
It's just in the way.
Yeah.
I think one of the funniest credits on the album is it says written, produced, and arranged by Stock, Aitken, and Waterman, and right below that it says a Stock, Aitken, Waterman production.
Just in case you forgot.
Yeah. Anyway. Oddly, the CD booklet only lists lyrics for 5 of the 10 songs, and they just kind of seem random, and they're not in album order. I have no idea.
Wow, who the hell designed that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think
maybe on the vinyl that came out, it had all 10 songs.
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, as for me, I picked up the cassette version because this was 1988.
Okay.
And I think I got it for $1 somewhere. I can't remember where, but it was brand new.
How'd you hear about her first before you bought this?
Oh, because of the song "I Should Be So Lucky" was just
everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, that and The Locomotion. Because you know me, I am just a sucker for ear candy.
Yeah, you are.
I am. It's a weakness I don't apologize for. But anyway, then over the years I just stopped playing it, and I think I might have donated it somewhere.
Oh.
But then, well, this was cassette.
Yeah.
We made the transition over to CDs, but it was like a couple of years ago. It had to be within the last 5 years. There was a Weaver Library book sale, and the CD was on the CD rack for only $1.
Yay!
And I thought, okay, this is my second chance. I have to get this. It was meant to be.
Hooray!
So let's dive into this.
First song, "I Should Be So Lucky."
Yeah, you should.
The opening immediately reminded me of Bananarama's "Love in the First Degree." I hear it. Who wouldn't be in love with Kylie Minogue? She's adorable. Kylie is fantasizing about the object of her affection. In her imagination, they're already in love, but it's only a dream. Still, she sounds happy. She's having a good time imagining him, and she's going to continue fantasizing because it makes her happy. And she's having a good time in the music video, around her studio apartment, neatening up, blowing bubbles in the bathtub. What a cutie pie, and a cutie pie of a song.
Now, this kind of harkens back to the old days of records, where it was you had the hit single, it was always the first song on the album because record companies knew that's what the kids wanted to hear.
Start off strong.
Yeah, and then as for like those other songs, well, you got to fill up the rest of the record with something, and maybe the kids will listen to those. But it was, hey, we'll just sell the record, and then maybe we'll put out a single at some point. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Kylie's imagination is working overtime. Dreaming's all she does, and she sings, "I'm dreaming that you're in love with me, like I'm in love with you. She should be so lucky," right? Anyway, that's pretty much the lyric content because it's Stock, Aitken, Waterman, and they're just not going to get too deep. But this is a very peppy tune, and it's what SAW does best. And like you said, it sounded like Bananarama. which I can definitely hear because they just have their own sound. As soon
Yeah.
as one of their songs starts, you know exactly who did it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, they keep it catchy with an annoyingly catchy chorus because I kind of lost track of how many times Kylie sings the word lucky.
Hmm.
Now, as for her voice, it's very different from what she sounds like these days, I think.
I agree. Yeah. Well, she's gotten older.
Well, yeah, and she's, I guess, learned how to sing over the years.
Well, and also she
Or
switched styles.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, there's almost a helium-like quality to it. Not much.
It doesn't sound awful
Just
bad.
no, it's just a little there. And at the time, she was actually getting compared to Minnie Mouse, but
Oh, that's mean.
that's exaggerating.
That's mean. Uh,
But this, not to give the people at Disney an idea to have Minnie sing all of Kylie's songs.
that'd be kind of cute. They could do like a music video, like Paula Abdul and the cat, or like Gene Kelly and Jerry Mouse. You get Kylie and Minnie together.
So instead of "I Should Be So Lucky," would she sing "I Should Be So Mickey"?
Sure, why not?
Or maybe "I Should Be So Ducky" because she's got a thing for Donald Duck.
Oh, I should be so
Oh,
ducky. That could work. Well, Kylie could sing that part, but Minnie can't sing that.
okay.
Next track, The Locomotion. I think a cover of this in the 80s makes sense because it sounds like something that would have played in an exercise video back then.
Yeah, I can see that.
Another good time where Kylie is having fun. Pretty true to the original, just more up tempo. And I think Kylie's version was the one I heard first. The Little Evil one sounds a bit less peppy in comparison, but more sensual, I think, is the correct adjective. I mean, at least with the tempo that is slowed down. I think the dance would be easier to do too in the well, yeah, in the Little Eva version, it would be easier to dance to a slower tempo. As for Grand Funk Railroad, that tempo makes it sound like a train slowly having its engine come to life and starting to chug bit by bit, and as a result, I felt kind of bogged down as I listened to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was the second single, which did better than "I Should Be So Lucky" in the United States anyway, and it went to number 3.
Did Little Eva or Carol comment on it?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, yay.
Jerry Goffin and Carole King wrote this for Dee Dee Sharp, who had just had a massive hit with Mashed Potato Time.
Oh, okay.
But Dee Dee passed on it. Enter Eva Boyd, who was Carol and Jerry's babysitter.
Oh.
And Eva became known as Little Eva. The song hit number 1 in 1962 and sold 1 million copies. Now, I did not know this. Eva actually had 3 more top 40 songs in 1962, but none of them hit the top 10. And that footage that I sent you, that I linked you to YouTube so you could see her version, supposedly or allegedly, that's the only known footage of her
Ever?
performing the song and doing the dance now, because
Wow.
it was like the song is not too specific on how to do the steps. So little Eva kind of had to invent it on her own, to come up with something. She wasn't too crazy about Kylie's version, but it did allow Eva to return to showbiz. So, there you go. And then, in 1974, Grand Funk Railroad, that was their name, or just Grand Funk, who really were neither, hit number 1 with their very plotting, heavy cuff. Well, everyone was on drugs back then. It was the 70s.
Sure, okay. If you were on speed, maybe it was faster.
Yeah, they hit number 1 with their very heavy and plotting cover of The Locomotion, which that was the very first version I ever heard.
I'm so sorry.
And then I heard Little Eva's, and I thought, this can't be the same song. This is so much better.
Yeah.
And then I heard Kylie's, and I think Kylie's version is serviceable. It's okay.
I like it better than Little Eva's.
Okay, you're entitled to that opinion. And it kind of reminds me of like when Kim Wilde came out with her version of the Supremes, "You Keep Me Hanging On." I mean, again, it was the 80s. It was a song from the 60s.
So, the 20-year nostalgia thing?
I guess that could have been a thing. Maybe that might have had something to do with it.
Do you have Kim Wilde out of curiosity?
I think I have The Kids in America, but I brought up 80s compilation from the library and just download it.
Anyway.
Like I said before, there really aren't instructions to how to do the locomotion, so, just get on the dance floor and
make something up.
Do what you will.
Yeah. Next track, Je ne sais pas pourquoi. Okay, when I saw the music video, I did a double take because Kylie looked like she could be a stand-in for Grace Kelly, who's my lady crush. Then again, maybe more Rosemary Clooney.
Oh, where she's like standing in that, waiting, and
Yep.
that woman comes up to her asking if she's okay. And
Yeah, Kylie is waiting for a man in the rain and asks a French woman what time it is. À quelle heure est-il? The woman immediately responds in English because French people just know when you're not a native speaker, even when you attempt to be polite. The French title confused me for a sec, but I was getting confused with parce que, which is the response to pourquoi. Pourquoi is how come, and parce que means because. And je ne sais pas pourquoi literally translates to I don't know why. Kylie has been stood up, and she knows this man is no good and probably cheating, but her heart can't let go. The way the music video is shot is like a 40s movie musical, especially when Kylie stands on the lamppost like if Gene Kelly was bummed out and singing in the rain, like if the kiss didn't go well or something, which honestly made me love the video more than the song. Kylie is more irritated here, but her feelings are sincere, which makes the song compelling.
yep. So, like you said, she's waiting for the guy to show up, and he never calls. Is he with someone else? And yet, she still loves him, though she doesn't know why.
Mm-hmm.
She
She's.
Je
Je ne sais pas
I don't
pourquoi.
know what the third person would be. Um, this song, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
The French phrase keeps it from being almost completely forgettable. But this isn't Kylie's fault so much as SAW, because slow songs really aren't their forte. Um, they're definitely much better at high energy pop, and
Yeah.
this ain't it.
Okay, next track. It's no secret. Fun fact, the lyrics for this song use numbers the same way Prince used numbers with his lyrics. I just thought that was a cool detail. Kylie's been cheated on by the one she loves, and to make matters worse, everyone knew about it before she did. So the title has a double meaning. It's no secret how much she loved him, and it's no secret what he did to her. This is a song for everyone who's been cheated on, for you to nod your head along with to the beat and go, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't know if this is the kind of song where it would help you heal and move on, but would it make you feel it would make your anger feel righteous and justifiably so. Also makes you want to find whoever cheated on Kylie and sock him in the mouth. Just a song to help you go through your emotions. Like who would cheat on Kylie Minogue? Who'd be an asshole enough to do that?
Oh,
This
um,
guy apparently.
mm, um, this managed to get to number 37 on Billboard's Top 40.
Huh.
So there you go. And once again, our poor Kylie's been done wrong. And it's no secret. And like you said, everyone knows but her.
Yeah,
She's the last to know.
which sucks.
And SAW, they keep it catchy by having Kylie repeat It's No Secret about 87 times during the song. And to me, this is like one of the happiest sad songs ever.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like you feel bad for her and bummed out, but on the other hand,
But that beat is catchy.
it is, it
Mhm.
is. And I think it's a true pop gem that deserved a lot better.
Next track, Gotta Be Certain. Having this song come next on the album is perfect sequential order. It's not a sequel so much as a continuation of the previous track. Kylie has found someone else, and he's the one who wants to commit. But Kylie's been burned so many times that she's gotta be certain. I don't like how she makes it conditional. If you want your our love to be, I know you'll wait for me. Because I know the counterpoint to that is she can't it's like the counterpoint is that Kylie, you can't take your time for too long and wait for everything to be perfect.
Hmm.
There's a good analogy where once you're in a healthy relationship for the first time in your life, your brain starts to predict what could happen if shit goes south, so you see red flags everywhere, like the opposite of that BoJack Horseman line of when you view the world through rose tinted glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. So if you don't take time to heal past hurts, you might end up hurting someone wonderful by accident. So this song has the potential to be a cautionary tale depending on the lens you look at it from.
I kind of came at it from a different approach where like Kylie's guy is in a hurry to how do I
Oh,
put this?
get in her pants?
I was gonna say how do I put this politely, but sure, we'll go for that. I guess that's polite. But she wants to wait, and she needs.
Okay.
I thought, well, she needs time to make up her mind that this is actually gonna go somewhere
Mm.
before she surrenders the goods.
Mm-hmm.
So but here's a fun fact, and it's kind of disturbing. So brace
Oh, a
yourself.
not so fun fact.
Uh, this song was originally intended for Kylie's label mate Mandy Smith, but it got shelved.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mandy was infamously known for being married to Rolling Stone Bill Wyman in 1989.
Okay.
She was 18,
Ugh. How old was he?
52.
Ooh.
52 minus 18, 34-year difference there, kids.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Now, they lasted just a tick under 2 years.
That's longer than I guess most people thought that would go.
Now, here's what makes it even more surprising or bizarre or
Oh, how old were they when
nope.
they met? Oh.
No. Oh, well,
Yeah.
there's that.
Didn't think about that part, huh?
Yeah, oh, well, I wanted to spare everyone those details. She was 14.
Oh God. Oh. Ooh.
Anyway, in 1993, Bill Wyman's 30-year-old son Stephen
No.
from Wyman's first marriage married
No.
Mandy's mom, Patsy,
What the hell's going on with these people?
who was 46. They lasted 2 years.
The mind boggles.
Well, I mean, in that case, it was a 16-year difference, and at least.
But jeez, oh my God, Bill Wyman should be in jail. That's statutory rape.
Oh, I know. There was definitely, but Mandy's going on to be a counsel for girls to, not get in
good for her. You know what?
Situation.
Maybe cancel culture should go after Bill Wyman. I think that would be a good idea.
Too late. I think that train has already left the station.
God damn it. Oh, can we get back to Kylie, please?
Yeah, next song.
Turn It Into Love. I think Kylie is singing from the perspective of the friend who wants the relationship to turn into something more. And she's trying to get her friend to see that she's always there for them. If they take the next step, they'll be okay. But I can see why the friend would be nervous because there's always the ghost of ruining the friendship lurking in the background. I think I like this song a lot because I can relate to it, but I also like the key they set it in by quite a bit. Favorite so far? Definitely.
Yeah, I thought this was one of those "I'm Here for You" songs. Just more of a high energy rendering of one of those songs.
Mm-hmm.
And she does some pretty good singing on this one. I kind of thought it was, like she's trying to cheer up some sort of friend or something. But I can see where you're coming from, where you're about to get friend zoned.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Next track, I Miss You. I realize the opening is the exact same tempo as The Lion Sleeps Tonight. So I'm listening to this and I'm going,
I never picked up on that.
I've been there, obsessing over the guy who won't come back. Or sometimes when I got it bad, the guy I saw a week ago. If you look at this song from any angle, the long-distance relationship one or the creepy one. But based on Kylie's tone, there's no malicious intent, maybe some frustration, but she's happy thinking about this person because, as she says, that makes her feel closer to them. And we end on a fade out. Something I haven't heard in a while, but really works here. It's an okay song, but for one about pining, it makes you feel good.
Lyrically, everything you need to know about this song is in its generic title.
Yes.
Musically, it's a shuffle, and for me, the song wandered a bit. Or maybe that was just my mind, like, ooh, squirrel.
Yeah.
It just didn't hold my attention that well, and the thing is, I couldn't recall it if you held the gun to my head. I would just have absolutely no idea, and I'd be dead.
But I'd probably just start singing The Lion Sleeps Tonight instead. What's that song with the same tempo? Oh, yeah.
I miss you. Anyway.
Next track, I'll Still Be Loving You. Kylie acknowledges the facts of the situation. Her man wants to break it off. But while she knows logically it's the right thing to part, I mean, she can't force him after all, her heart is holding on. And I think what makes this harder for her is she built her whole life around him, which is why it's important to have your own interests, hobbies, and passions outside of a relationship. Another okay song, but it serves an important reminder.
Oh, you got out of this more than I did, because it was like, hey, it's over. Kylie will still be loving him. That's kind of it. And again, SAW slow things down, and again, I just don't think it works for them. It seems like they ran out of ideas and music after the song Turn It Into Love.
So they threw some darts at a board to see what would stick.
So, yeah, but we still have 2 more songs left. Anything can happen.
Next track, Look My Way. I think my favorite detail vocally is how Kylie does short staccato emphasis on the words look my way.
Damn it.
Almost making them separate sentences. And I gotta be honest, other than that, I really tuned the song out. So Dad, if you want to say something, say it here.
Okay, I thought this was kind of a slight comeback after the previous 2 songs. Yeah, Kylie needs him, but he never seems to notice her. But I think, being that she's Kylie, I really find that hard to believe.
It's Kylie friggin' Minogue.
How could you not notice her? Anyway, um, this is called relating to the masses or attempting to. Anyway, the beat is mid-tempo, and I really like the bass line, and this could have been a hit. So yeah, nice little comeback here.
Final track, Love at First Sight. This is a very happy song to end the album on, and you feel happy right away as soon as those horns kick in, but I don't think they're really a horn section. I think it's just a computer.
Oh yeah, Stock Aitken and Waterman were very big on the electronics. Like
Yeah.
the drummer who always got credit was A. Lynn, because they used A. Lynn drum machine for all their beats.
Well, at least they cited their sources.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kylie has a storybook moment where she sees a man who smiles at her, she falls in love instantly, and the next thing she knows, she's in his arms. Definitely fairy tale. Now, do I believe in love at first sight? I believe in it, but it's very rare. Sometimes you hear that kind of story from couples about how they looked at each other and knew in that moment. Steve Irwin had that with his wife. One of the Sherman brothers had that with his wife. But most relationships, you meet the person, find them pleasant, become friends, and then you fall in love. But it's not entirely impossible for this sort of thing to happen. XTC's song of the same title is what often ends up happening instead. And Kylie acknowledges that it sounds a bit silly, but for her it's the truth and what happened to her. So I say, good for you. As for the song with the same title, if she re-released it now, I think it would be a lot more popular because one, the opening sounds like a lo-fi music video. Two, the beat sounds like EDM, electronic dance music. And three, it sounds like something a K-pop or a J-pop group would cover. But by God, does she look awful in that music video with those weird close-ups and that blue eyeshadow. It's bad.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice. I just noticed like the big K earring.
I saw the K earring. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, I thought she looked okay.
Okay.
Anyway, how generic is this title? Well, as we've all found out, Kylie used it twice. Once on this album and once on Fever, which was 14 years later, and maybe she forgot. Oh, yeah. Anyway, this version is very peppy.
Hold on. Do you think she ever gets confused with which one she's gonna perform at a concert?
Oh, I don't think so.
Anyway.
And I'm listening to this and I thought, oh my God, this sounds just like I Should Be So Lucky, but with different words. And I kind of wonder if that's intentional. Like, let's close the album with sort of the same song that we opened it with, kind of like musical bookends. Which I think it worked. I really liked it. The one on Fever is more, I guess, Euro disco, definitely more propulsive. This is called Progress. And I sent you the XTC one because I'm sure there's a buttload of songs out there
and also
called Love at First Sight.
I'm going through an XTC phase, sort of, because I've been listening to English Settlement a lot. Like, towards the end of the day at work, I was, like, wrapping up some, data entry and paperwork, and I put it on my headphones. It's like, it's 4 o'clock, it's the end of the day. So if you walked by me at work, you would have seen me going, Santa's working overtime. I just needed that song for a bit of catharsis.
Now, as to the concept of Love at First Sight.
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people kind of get it confused though with Lust at First Sight.
Yeah, but I think the love at first sight, like the genuine love at first sight, can happen. But again, very rare.
I'm sure it does, but like I said, I think people tend to get the two confused.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, yeah. All right. Overall, this album was a very pleasant listen and pretty fine. But for me, it's kind of like how you said some of Paula Abdul's stuff is like cotton candy, fluffy, not too much substance. I don't think I downloaded any of the songs save one. I'll have to go back and look. It's good for turning off the brain and just needing something to jam to. And I remember, as we discussed a little bit in the beginning, we saw Kylie perform at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in November, and I said to Dad, she's coming on tour, do you want to see her? And you said, no. And I didn't understand why at first, but then I listened to this album and I could understand why someone might not be so enthusiastic about seeing her live, because if you listen to this once, that's kind of all you really need, or it like can't get you out of my head. So listen, if you like lady pop artists and Kylie is a blind spot for you, give this album a listen. And if not, it's okay for you to skip. And I do have one quick Kylie Minogue story. It's not the Graham Norton one, but go look that one up. So it was the lead singer of Coldplay, Chris. he was on an interview show in the UK, and they said to him, "Has there ever been a song that you had a great concept for, but it didn't just work out?" And so he said one night he had this dream that he was doing a song with Kylie Minogue and David Bowie. And he wrote it down, he wrote the song, and he approached David first. He said, "Hey, I have this idea for a song." And David said, "Yeah, email it to me." And so he emailed Bowie the song, and Bowie wrote back an email, and all he said in response was, "Not your best." And Chris found it funny because to him it was kind of like when the professor you really look up to at school kind of puts you in your place a little bit. It was like you could do better, and he was like, "Yeah, he was right."
Huh.
Anyway, what
But
are your
anyway,
thoughts, Dad?
yeah. So Kylie's first album is actually better than I thought.
Okay,
Because at first I thought, I should be so lucky, and the Locomotion were the only memorable tunes, but fragments of the other songs would just pop in my head at random, which surprised me.
that's how she gets you.
Yeah, and I got. Um, I only listened to each song once for the podcast, but damn if they didn't get their hooks in me, and I have to say, well done, Kylie, and well done, SAW.
Mission
Yeah,
accomplished.
and the thing is, like, I like her stuff,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't know a lot of it where I would invest three figures to go see her in concert,
Oh, that's how
because
much it is?
I'm sure that's the bare minimum.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like when I went to go, I mean, last time I went to TD Garden, I saw Florence and the Machine.
That was worth it for you.
Yeah, it definitely was. Ticket was $95, but it was next to the last row, like way up in the stratosphere.
Well, you got to
If
see
if you
them.
want to move closer, the meter was just gonna start running. So, yeah.
All right, as always, thank you for listening to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, because remember, the more you interact with the video, the greater chance we have of appearing on the YouTube homepage. If you follow me on social media, I post the episodes there. If you're friends with my dad, tell him what you want to listen to, and he'll email it right to your inbox. As always, thank you for listening to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. We'll be back next time with another album to nitpick and gripe about. Dad, anything you want to say before we sign off?
Except the United States, it's Kylie's world, so I guess we don't live in it, but the rest of the world does.